recording the class and I'll share my screen. You able to see me? Let me know when you're able to see my screen.
Yes, JP.
Okay, thank you, Saidip. Then, what were we discussing yesterday? Can someone take initiation to explain what were we discussing yesterday?
You have to post about the invoice journal.
Okay, vendor
Create,
invoice journal. Correct.
create
And
the journal.
okay, how to create the vendor invoice journals, how to create multiple invoices in a single journal, how to create an invoice with multiple lines like a compound entry. Okay, we have discussed these few scenarios, right?
Yes.
Okay. Today we will discuss few of the menus left over in the invoice journal page, and after that we will discuss about how to settle the invoices that we have posted upon the maturity date or before the maturity date, how to settle them, and how cash discount is calculated and how cash discount entries are posted. We will see. Okay, so let me go to vendor invoice journal. So here it is, accounts payable, invoices and vendor invoice journal. I'll click here. Takes a while to load the journals initially. Okay, so it's here. I'll just create a new journal quickly. So consider the journal name vendor invoice journal. Okay, and then click on lines. So once clicked on lines, what should be the primary selection?
Selection of vendor.
Correct. So the account type is automatically taken as vendor here since it is an invoice journal. You can change it. But in general journal, when you see the account type will be ledger automatically. So it is default there. It is default here. Okay, then you can change, you can select the vendor account for which you are going to create the invoice. I'm going to select this third vendor, Tata Motors. Okay. So I'm selecting this vendor, Tata Motors. It takes a while to load the name here. Vendor name should be loaded in the account name page. Here it is loaded. I can select the invoice date. So I want to do the invoice for 1st of October only. And I can give an invoice number like Tata 21 invoice number. Okay. Then what should be done here? Debit, either do we need debit or credit?
Credit.
So why only credit?
Because we are raising the invoice. Creating liability.
Correct. During the invoicing, we always have to credit the vendor to create the liability. Until and unless you are posting a reverse invoice, it is always credit only. Okay. So I'll tell you the process of posting a reverse invoice. No worries. So I am giving $2,000 here. 2000, not $2,000. I see INR here. Why I see INR here, not dollars? Normally I should get US dollar, right? My accounting currency is US dollar. Everywhere I should get US dollar only. But why I got INR here?
I mean, we are giving it for vendors, right?
Okay, we have given it for Tata Motors. All of you remember, guys, we have, when we have created Tata Motors, we have created it as a foreign vendor. And for that, I have given the currency as INR, change it from US dollar to INR. So that is why by default, system picks this INR here automatically. So now I'm doing invoice for 2000 INR. So 2000 INR is way less compared to dollar. So I'll do it for 20,000 INR. Got it? Any confusion? For this vendor, when we have created, I gave the currency as INR. So keeping in mind that this is our legal entity is a US based legal entity and this vendor is a Indian vendor. So he should be a foreign vendor for our company, right? So I just clicked on view details. It loaded me the vendor record here. If I go into the purchase demographics, here you see the currency I gave is INR in the vendor record. Clearly you can see the currency I gave is INR. So that is why it automatically defaults that vendor default currency here for transaction. If you want, you can change it back to US dollar or any other currency. It's up to you. But we have given it for a purpose that it automatically populates on the journal. Whenever we do transactions, this vendor is located in India. So INR transactions only will be done mostly with this vendor. So invoice also created for INR. However, it will be exchanged according to the exchange rate available in the system into US dollar as well as into the reporting currency. So we will see that part, how it will exchange. Okay, coming to ledger account, I can select one of the expense account as I was selecting yesterday, rent expense or any other expense account. So I'll go for 5 series accounts. I'll go for some miscellaneous expenses. Okay. Now I will save this just to see that these fields are populating here or not. So as soon as I save here, my voucher amount should be 20,000, but I'm seeing here 262.47. Any idea why?
Converting into US dollars.
Correct. So system will automatically convert this 20,000 into US dollars according to the latest exchange rate available. It can be today's exchange rate or any other previous day's exchange rate if today's exchange rate is not available. So whatever is the latest previous exchange rate is there, according to that exchange rate, system will convert this 20,000 into US dollar amount here. Okay, is it clear for all of you?
Yes.
Yes, if you want to see what exchange rate system is picking, you can see here in the general menu. Normally it shows the exchange rate. So this is the exchange rate system is considering US dollar to INR. Okay, for 1 INR you will get 0.013 US dollar. So you have 20,000 INR. 20,000 INR into 0.013123 whatever we have, it will be 262.47. So that's how system is calculating it. So this exchange rate, whatever we have, may it be from US dollar to INR, INR to US dollar, whatever we have in the exchange rates, it will automatically take the reverse exchange rate also. In case if you are having exchange rate between INR to US dollar, in that case system will take the reverse exchange rate also according to the numbers. Okay, so this is what we have here, exchange rate. So we don't have any discount code applied, so the cash discount amount is 0. We can give a discount code if you want. You can give this 5% 20 days discount, 20 days 5% discount code. And we have net 30 days defaulted from the vendor, and payment due date will be 31st of October. So clear, right? This foreign currency invoice for all of you.
Yeah.
Okay. So before posting it, as I was saying yesterday, we can discuss this menu invoice. So within this menu invoice, normally we have posting profile here. So I told you we can create as many posting profiles you want with different summary accounts. If you want, other than accounts payable account, you can create like prepayment is there, right? So you can create a prepayment also, or you can select different posting profile here if you have multiple posting profiles. But if you are selecting that means the transaction instead of accounts payable account, so accounts payable account is there in general posting profile. If you gave a different account, so that account will be picked instead for vendor account while posting the voucher. So normally when we post this transaction, it will post the accounts payable account to credit. But if you have another posting profile which is having a different account, and if you pick that posting profile here, then system will post that particular account into the voucher. It don't consider the accounts payable account. It will consider the account that is mapped in the new posting profile or a different posting profile. Okay, not most of them will use different multiple posting profiles. But in case if they have requirement, you can say that you can create multiple posting profiles and change it back whenever you want when you are posting a transaction. Okay, you can change it in the header level anytime. Also, you can in any invoice or payment transaction, or I mean purchase order invoice transaction or sales order invoice transaction, anywhere you can change the posting profile if they want to select a different main account. But normally they use only single posting profile, and for prepayments, that is only for payments we use prepayment transaction. I'll show you how we use this prepayment posting profile for payment transactions. For advanced payment transactions, I'll show you in the next step. For now we are using only general posting profile. And sometimes it asks here, this approved button should be always should be yes. If it is no, means you can't post this invoice. It says that you should approve this, and you see some approver name is auto populated here. So most for this demo environment it is auto populating, but in few environments it will not auto populate. You have to give your name here. Since you are creating the invoice, you will be created as an employee in the company. If at all you are created as a user and employee, and if you link both the user and employee, you can see your name here. You can select your name or ID, so that system will understand that you are the person who is creating this invoice and approving this invoice. Okay. Compulsory, I would say compulsory yes, you should have. If you don't have, system will, while posting, system throws error message that approver name is not mentioned. Here it is taking automatically, but in normally in business whoever does the invoice journal will give their name. They will give their name, or they can also select other person's name also, no problem. But it's fair that if you select your name, anyway if you select other person name also, while posting it, audit trail will show on your name only if you post it. So this is one. Then I have one invoice payment release date. So before that we will select this release date option. You know release date, right? Suppose if I want to post this invoice, if I give a release date here, I can't post the invoice before that release date. On or after that release date only I can post that invoice. Not only invoice, but in any journal. If you have the release date option, if you give release date means you can post that particular journal only when you arrive at that release date, or you can change the release date if you want to, but users does not have permissions or may not know that you gave a release date if they want to post it. So that's one part. Then you see the net terms of payment, due date, and other method of payment also you can give here. So what kind of method of payment you want for this invoice? Suppose if I select check method means, this means like vendor asked you to pay the vendor the invoice amount through check. So that is why you have given the method of payment as check. So whenever somebody is making payment, he will understand that for this vendor, for this invoice specifically, a check has to be created. Or you can pull set of invoices which has for the same vendor, which are under check payment, and we can make a single payment of check, single check amount for whole pending invoices amount, or I mean the open invoices amount. So you can also give account identification of for third party bank. Third party bank is nothing but the vendor bank. I think for one vendor we have created a bank account. So this is compulsory while you are doing any electronic report, electronic payment transaction. I mean under payments. It is not compulsory here under invoices. If you give under invoice, system will automatically pick it during payment. For electronic, if you are using electronic payment method, it will automatically pick this vendor bank account number from here. But for this vendor, I think we don't have. Another vendor we have. We'll see that part. So this is all we have here in invoice menu. Nothing great or many, but just that you have some important things like invoice date and approved by. Invoice date you can give in the line level also. Approved by you have to give, and it should be approved here to get posted. Keep these points in mind. And coming to cash discounts menu, normally this cash discounts menu will show up when we post the invoice. So how much cash discount will be? 1,000 is applicable here. 1,000 rupees cash. Don't it again. So $62 only, but cash discount you will get in INR because your original invoice amount is in INR. So 1,000 INR. And once you post it, you will see this cash discount applicable here. So I'll try to post it. Then later I'll go back to cash discount to show you that menu. So it is posted. Once posted, I'll click on this cash discount. I can see. So this is because of the next discount code I have. So if you are paying on or before 21st of October, you will get 1000 rupees discount. So this is rupees. And if you are paying it on or before 31st of October, you will get 600 rupees discount, 6%, 3%, I think 3% discount. If you are paying later to this, you don't get any discount. You have to pay total 20,000. That's all. So clear, guys? Clear, right? Any confusion in this? Anyone? Pala, Shivakumar. Let me know if you have any confusion. Somebody's asking something. Isn't that Sheshu? Clear, right? You missed yesterday's class, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, then it will not be clear for you, definitely. Fine. This is how we. Yeah, Sairam.
Payment day గురించి చెప్తానన్నా.
Yeah, payment. I did not check it actually. Let me see. Okay.
Okay.
So this is how we post invoice. So now let us see the voucher for the posted invoice. For the posted invoice, I can see the miscellaneous expense account getting debited in the transaction currency. The transaction currency is INR, you know, right? So 20,000 INR and accounts payable is created for 20,000 INR. Coming to the right side, you can see amount here. Amount means amount in accounting currency. This one, amount in monetary standard national currency. It is in US dollar. 262.47 US dollars is the invoice amount. 20,000 is converted into US dollar. Here, what we have a different amount. Why we have a different amount here? Anyone?
That is reporting currency, euro.
Yeah, the reporting currency of our legal entity is euro. So the 20,000 INR is converted into reporting currency euro and automatically showing up here. Okay, clear, right? This voucher for all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. If this is clear, then let's do something else. Okay, not duplicate this page. I'll try to duplicate this page to go to the vendor menu, just to show you the details how it is posted in the foreign vendor transactions list. Accounts payable, all vendors. So how to check vendor transactions?
Select the vendor.
Select the vendor and I think there is some lag in Sushila voice, but that's okay. You have to click here on transactions. Under vendor transactions you have. Click here and you see this transaction. Tata 21 invoice number. Amount in transaction 20,000. Balance that you have to pay is 20,000 INR. You can see. Balance in accounting currency you have to pay is 262.47 US dollars. Okay, if I go back, I can see the balance here. You can see the balance of the vendor in your accounting currency, 262.47 US dollar. Also, you can see it in the transaction currency, 20,000 according to the vendor's currency, 20,000 INR you have to pay, which is equal to 262.47 US dollars. Clear? This menu, all of you.
Yes.
Okay. So then if it is clear, we can go back. Now let us see what are the different options we have to settle these invoices. So how do we settle the invoices? Tell me, anyone? Normally, if we post an invoice, so how do we settle those invoices?
We will make a payment through vendor payment journal. I think.
Correct. We'll make a payment journal, vendor payment journal to make the payments. So we can also create a vendor payment journal and settle the invoice. Else we can also settle the existing existing invoice, the existing payment transaction in the vendor transactions menu. So there are two options. So we'll go with the first option first. How to post a vendor payment journal to settle an invoice. Okay. So for that, as Susila said, I have to post a vendor payment journal. To post a vendor payment journal, you know, right? I have to go to accounts payable, go to payment journal. So all of you are aware with the navigation, right? Accounts payable, payments, payment journal. Accounts payable, payments and payment journal. If I click on payment journal, I can see there are a lot of payment journals pending. So forget about all this. I'll create a new payment journal. As soon as I create a payment journal, it takes a journal batch number and it will consider a journal name. So how did this journal name appearing here?
We have created a
We
journal.
have created while cash and bank management.
We have created this vendor payment journal for doing the cash and bank management check payment transactions, right? So I'll show you the overview of this journal once again, just for the sake of understanding. So you see this vendor payment journal. That journal type is vendor disbursement. You should give journal type as vendor disbursement, and you should give a unique voucher series for it. Okay. Now let us see. I created a journal and I'm going for lines here. Now we have to settle, right? We have to settle an invoice or make payment for an invoice. So I'll go here to select the vendor for whom we're going to make a payment. I'm selecting this vendor Sahara. Okay, but how you know which invoice you are going to pay? You don't know, right? Which invoice you are going to pay. You can select the invoice that you want to pay. There is a option where you can see all the list of invoices that are open for this vendor which has to be paid, and you can select one invoice or multiple invoices for payment. Okay, where to select that is here, settle transactions. We have one menu here, settle transactions. As soon as you create the line, click on the line and click on settle transactions here. You see, right, settle transactions. Once you click on it, it will show the list of open invoices for the vendor. You can see here clearly the list of open invoices. There are two invoices pending. One invoice is for $1,000, another invoice is for $1,500. Okay. So if I click on this invoice, suppose I want to mark it firstly in order to select it. So I'm selecting it. I can see 970 here for settlement, and I can see 30 as cash discount. Why?
We are paying within
Yes, correct. We are paying it within the cash discount date. So if you want to see what is the cash discount applied to this invoice, you can see here. We have this option cash discount on the top. Once you select the invoice, you can click on cash discount. So it will show you the cash discount. If you are paying it before 31st of October, you will get $30 discount. So totally you have to pay only 970 for this invoice if you are paying today, because you have the offer until, but today's date is October only, right? So you can pay it today, which means you will get the discount, $30 discount. So if I get $30 discount, how it will be accounted, I'll show you how the entry will be. So now it is clear, right? For all of you, marking multiple invoice, I'll do it later for another vendor. Okay. For now, I'm selecting a single invoice for payment. So applicable $30 discount is applicable. Discount code we gave to the invoice while we were creating it. And you can see the settlement balance is 970 and cash discount, estimated cash discount is 30. And total vendor balance now is 2,500, 1000 plus 1500 invoice. Totally now we have vendor negative balance or credit balance of 2,500, which we have to pay to the vendor. Out of which we are trying to pay this 1000. In that 1970 is the actual balance we paid. 30 will be accounted as discount. So vendor will be paid with Vendor account will be created with 1000 only. We'll see that how it will work. Okay. So selected, I selected this invoice. I click on mark, not on fully settle. Okay, just click on mark and click on OK here. As soon as I click on OK, I can see 970 here as a debit. Why I see it in debit?
The payment vendor account will be debited.
We are
Is the
paying to the
receipt.
vendor.
So we are paying the vendor. So which means vendor will be debited because vendor is on the receiving side. Okay. Why we are paying only 970?
8% discount, right?
Correct. System automatically deducted the discount since we are paying it within the cash discount offer date. So how that 30 will be accounted, I'll show you the voucher. Okay. Once after posting, the automatic voucher will be posted. So I'll show you that voucher, how it is posted. Other than this, I will select a offset account for payment. I can select a bank account or so how I can see method of payment as check automatically here. Any idea? Anyone, any idea how I see method of payment as check automatically here in this payment journey?
In the vendor master data.
Vendor master data. I'm going to view details to check the vendor master data. Let me see. So in the vendor master data, here we gave the default method of payment as check. So whenever we do invoice, for that invoice, this method of payment default will be applicable. And when we are making payment, system will automatically bring the method of payment as check so that we can pay it through check. So it's up to you. You can change the method of payment to any other and also you can pay it through cash, your wish. But since we have given it as check, let us try to generate the check by the process we know already. So I'm selecting the bank account. I'll select the ICICI bank account to generate the check. So what has to be done next for generation of check?
Generate. Click on generate payment.
Click on generate payments. Correct. Then select the method of payment as check. Export format check. Bank ICICI. Okay. Then click on OK. Then check number 109 is being printed. Click on document. Select to print it on screen. Okay, select screen. Click on OK. Then click on OK. So it will take a while to load and print the check. So there is a error message. Let's see what it is. Any guess what it should be? What it would be? Anyone? I have a guess. If you have any guess, let me know before opening this error.
Maybe financial dimension.
Correct. I am guessing the same. Missing financial dimensions could be a reason. Let's see. So it is saying the same. You must select value in the customer field in the combination with the following dimensions. Main account 1 lakh 3, but we don't have 1 lakh 3 main account anywhere here. Why system is saying 1 lakh 3?
Maybe. Okay.
Through method of payment, it is check.
But why we have this
And we
account?
selected a ICICI bank account.
So what if I select ICICI Bank here?
We have linked it.
Correct. For this ICICI Bank account, we have linked a ledger account, right? So instead of this bank account in voucher, that ledger account will get debited or credited, whatever we do with this bank. So that particular account is here. For all the asset accounts, we have given compulsory financial dimensions to be filled as an advanced rule. So that account is behind this bank, right? So system is considering that account while generating the voucher. It will definitely ask for this mandatory financial dimensions. That is why we have to give the mandatory financial dimensions for the offset account. Offset account means bank account. So we have to give this customer financial dimension. That's what we have missed. Other than that, everything is fine. Now let us try to generate payments again. Click OK. Go for document, screen. OK. OK. I have another message. Any idea why it should be? Let us see what happens. You may select a value in the cost center field in the combination field. I'm sorry, you also need to select cost center. This one. So I know this cost center is associated to this default financial dimension Hyderabad. I think cost center dimension value should follow dimension value. Second advanced rule we have created that one. So now it should generate a screen. Yes, and okay. Come on. So since we are printing a document after so long, it is taking some time. So before this gets generated, let us discuss about the voucher. So now we see vendor account is debited with $970. Okay. Our bank account is also credited with $970 only. What happens to the remaining $30? What is the entry for that $30? Anyone? So yeah,
System will take the account cash discount earned account.
from where it will take the cash discount account?
While we are creating the cash discount codes, we have given the account for accounts receivable and accounts payable.
Correct, very good. So while we are creating cash discount codes, we gave the account for vendor discounts and we gave the account for customer discounts. From there it will pick the account we have given for vendor cash discounts. So what will be the entry? How that $30 will be adjusted? Anyone?
Come again, JP.
What will be the entry for the adjustment of cash discount? So with
Vendor account will
970.
be debited for 1000, bank account for 970, and cash discount for 30.
Okay, so that's correct. But I have this voucher already. So now what is remaining?
Cash discount
So cash discount,
will
or
be credited.
I'll say vendor cash discount will be
Credited.
credited. Why it is credited?
It is an income.
Because the discount that we receive on vendors, it is a income or gain kind of. So it will be always credited with $30. So then we have vendor accounted or debited only for 970, right? That remaining vendor balance, vendor account will be debited here for another $30. So totally vendor will be debited with 1000 only, out of which from our bank we are paying only 970. And the cash discount revenue, the whatever we have received is created for 30. So we only pay 970 and 30 is accounted as discount, but the vendor invoice is pending for 1000, right? That 1000 amount will be settled automatically. This 970 plus this 30,000 will be settled to the vendor invoice. So we will see that. We have this check generated. Here you can see the check that is printed for $970, right? Gross amount is 1000, cash discount is 30, payment amount is 970. It also printed that information here for reference sake. Okay, let's close this. Then come back to the journal. So since check number 109 is generated and payment status changed it from none to sent, we can post this check. So soon after posting, we'll get this cash discount voucher also. So how that will generate or how we can track it, I'll show you. So now what we have done is we have created a payment journal, selected the invoice that we have to settle, and automatically the invoice balance 970 is appearing here. 1000 is the invoice balance. Deducting the discount, 970 appeared here as the debit balance for vendor. And then we have selected a bank account to pay the amount. We have generated a check and paid it. Okay, now the invoice is settled according to our perception or whatever we have done steps here. That should be the situation. Then you can check this payment voucher here by clicking on voucher. Here you can see bank account is credited with 970 and accounts payable account is debited with 970. Right? You can only see the 970 voucher, but you can see the related vouchers here. Related voucher means the remaining voucher. This voucher will be in the related vouchers. So if I click on related vouchers, I can see this related voucher for 30. You can see, right? You can click on voucher here. It will show the exact voucher for the related voucher. You see vendor cash discount account is picked by system automatically and credited it for $30. Accounts payable account or the same vendor account is debited for $30. You can see the same here. Vendor cash discount is created for 30. Vendor account is debited for 30. So this entry will automatically get generated. So this account here is picked from cash discount code where we have given the vendor cash discount account, and this account is picked from posting profile. Normally the posting profile that we give for payment, the same posting profile accounts payable account it will pick. Is it clear for all of you how system picked this or posted this voucher?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, only 2 responses. Saideep, Bala, Santosh.
SAP.
Okay. So now let us see how this payment and discount transaction got settled to the invoice transaction. Okay. We'll go back. So this is the original voucher of payment. You can see here in the 3 dots. Normally you can see, or if I decrease the size of the screen, then I can see those 2 here only, related and all related vouchers. But if I increase the size, then I can see it here in the 3 dots. The additional menu items in the top will normally goes into this one. If I click on all related vouchers, it generally shows me the cash discount voucher. It shows the original voucher as well as the cash discount voucher. So this is the original voucher, right? Vendor payment. And this is the automatic cash discount voucher. You can see both of them here. 970 plus 30 vendor balance will be 1000, and 970 and 30 will be 1000. So out of which 970 is deducted from our bank and 1000 is recorded as a vendor cash discount. Same 2 vouchers at a time it shows here. Now let us go to vendor menu, to all vendors, to the Sahara vendor for which one of the invoice we have settled, right? We'll go to that and we'll click on transactions here. If I click on transactions, I can see 2 transactions here. One with the voucher number, vendor payment, what we have posted 970, another one with the $30 voucher, which is a discount voucher. And for both of them, you can see it is 970 positive and 30 positive here in this side. Not positive normally, in this side you can see on the other side. So what it shows here is normally when vendor is debited in the vouchers, wherever vendor is debited, it will show in the left hand side. In the vouchers wherever vendor account is credited, it will show on the right hand side here. So here in these 2 vouchers we have done vendor payment. Here in the discount voucher also vendor is debited. So both of them are showing on this side. These 2 are invoice vouchers wherein vendor account is credited. So these 2 will show on the other side, on the right hand side. Okay. Now I can see something else. This balance on the invoice is showing as 0. You can also see the other invoice for which you can see the balance on the invoice is still 1500. But this invoice is showing as 0. Why? Anyone?
It got settled.
Correct. It got settled with the payment transaction and the discount amount we have done. Okay. So how do you check if it is settled or not? Normally you have a menu here, show open only. If I click on show open only, it will show only open transactions. Means the transactions that are not settled yet. For any transaction, if you have any balance here, existing balance, we will see them as open transactions. But for these 3 transactions which are hidden when I clicked on this 1000 and this 2 transactions, see the balance in transaction currency is 0. So since it is 0, we can see them as closed transactions. In the latest version of the system, you don't see this menu. You will see one menu with all open closed, which means if you select all means in the drop down, it will show all the transactions like this. If we select only closed transactions, means it will show only closed transactions. If we select open transactions, it will show only open transactions. Open means the transactions that are not yet settled and there is an existing balance that has to be settled. So this invoice is completely settled for now. You know, this $1,000 invoice is completely settled, out of which 970 is a payment and 30 is a discount. So you can also identify it from here. Click on the invoice and click on settlement here. If you click on settlement, you can see settlement history. Click on settlement history and you can see which transaction is settled. You can see this 970 payment transaction is settled, out of which 30 discount is also used, and totally 1000 amount is settled for the vendor. Amount settled is 1000. So this is the thing it shows. In cash discount, it shows the $30 discount taken. So this is how it shows the history. Since these two are settled already, you can see the undo settlement. You can see this option for undoing the settlement. I'll tell you in the next class, but not next class, in the next topic. But before that, you can just see it. If I click on undo settlement, I can see those two settled transactions. See this invoice transaction settled with the payment transaction, and it also shows discount used as 30, so that both of them will be balanced. So this invoice is done on 4th. This payment is done on 5th, and the due date of this invoice is 31st of October, whereas this payment is paid on 31st. So don't consider the due date for payment. Normally you paid it on 31st, and it is both of them are settled, and you can see both of them together. Okay, so this is how we can settle a invoice transaction by making a vendor payment journal through the vendor payment journal here. Clear, guys? Any confusion in this part? Anyone? Creating a vendor payment journal, selecting the invoice to be settled, and how it is being posted. Clear right until here for all of you? Acknowledge, guys, please.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Yes, JP.
perfect.
Yes, JP.
So we will also do few more transactions. So I'll do one more payment transaction for you to show. So we have another invoice, right? Open invoice has 1500. This one. So this only invoice is pending. You can see the balance in transaction currency as 1500. Now let us make the payment for this invoice. Let me make a payment, vendor payment journal, lines I'm going. So what I have to select here?
Vendor.
Vendor.
Which vendor?
The vendor we are going to settle.
For the vendor for whose invoice we are going to pay, we'll select that vendor. So here the vendor is Sahara 002. I'll select the same vendor 002 Sahara. Then the vendor name will appear automatically. You can select the debit or credit amount, but before that I'm not going to select any amount. I'll directly settle the invoice. Select this invoice, so automatically the amount will populate here. Changing the discount amounts, or if we have any discount applicable, it will automatically apply the discount. So I'm going for settle transactions. Select this transaction. As soon as I selected, I can see the settlement amount as 1425 and discount amount as 75. If I go to cash discount here, I can see here, if I pay it within this particular date, 22nd of 22nd, I'll get $75 discount. If I'm paying it later to 22nd, system will consider only $45. So how this will be considered, I'll show you once again. I just clicked on OK here. You can see 1425 here, right? So, but what I will do is I'll try to delete this and create once again. So just to show you overview. I'll go to new. I'll select the date as 23rd. Okay, after the discount date, first discount. Okay, 23rd I'm paying this invoice. So I'll select the vendor Sahara. I'll go for settle transactions. Now I'll settle the same invoice again The only one invoice is showing up here because one invoice is already settled. So settled transactions will not show here. Only the open transactions or open invoices or payments, anything only show up here. I'll select this invoice which is open, and here I can see 1455 and cash discount is calculated as 45 only. Why?
We have given the next discount code on that.
Because we are making the payment on 23rd of October. This discount which we have initially is applicable only till 22nd of October. If we are crossing that date, it will automatically take the next discount. See, 23rd is after 22nd, so before November 1st. So it automatically takes this 45. Suppose if I am doing payment after 1st of November, then
No discount
No
will be
discount will
applicable.
be calculated.
no discount will be calculated and we have to pay enter 1500 to the vendor on the invoice. So now I am selecting this and I click on OK. So as soon as I'll click on OK, that 1455 is applicable here and $45 discount will also get applied later. So then I can use this bank account and offset account as bank account. So I'll give the financial dimensions early only this time before generating the check. Go to offset account, give the customer account as well as the cost center here and click on OK, and then click on generate payments, click on OK. No more checks for ICICI one. It is saying there are no checks. Why?
We have credited only 10 checks.
So what
100
do
to
we need to
103.
do now?
We need to create check for that bank.
Okay, so how to create check? Not this. It will automatically take me to the bank account if I drop down here and click on view details. So guys, how to create checks for their bank account other than Sai Raman, Sushila or anyone else other than these two? How to create checks for bank accounts? I am in my bank account menu. Now what? Anyone? It's been so long, right? We discussed.
Click on manage payments
Okay, click on manage payments.
and click on the checks.
Under
Related
related information, we have
Related
checks.
checks.
Okay, click on checks. So now we have all the checks used. You see, paid, cancelled. 109 is done. So how to create a new check?
create checks.
Checks.
Click on create checks. Then
How many checks we need? Just we have to mention the number quantity.
correct. I need 10 checks starting from 110. Click on OK. So I see from 110 to 119, 10 checks are created. All are in created status now. Right? Now we can go back and generate check this time. So this time it will generate. It will automatically pick that check number 110. So click on generate payments. Okay. So here you see check number 110 is picked automatically. Go to document, select screen, click on OK and click on OK. It is processing the print of check. It will print the check for 1455. So it is printed. Check 1455. Then you can see gross amount 1500, discount 45, payment amount 1455. Close this. You can post the voucher. Sorry, post the journal. Post it. You can check the voucher. So 1455 debited for the vendor, 1455 credited from our bank account. You can also check the all related vouchers so that you can also see the cash discount. Vendor cash discount credited for 45 and same accounts payable account or the vendor account is debited for 45. Okay, vendor account is totally debited with 1500. Okay, but through bank we paid only 1455 and cash discount is accounted for $45. Now if I go to vendor transactions here and if I remove this, now I can see, if I refresh this, now I can see all the transactions here. For this 1500 we have a payment transaction 1455 and one discount transaction 45 which is settled. So since it is settled, you can see the balance as 0, right? So this 1500 is settled with this invoice. So you can also see it in the settlement history that invoice is settled with this payment transaction, vendor payment 13. That is the voucher number, right? Vendor payment 13 is used for settling this 1500. You can see here. You can also see here paid by checks option. If you click here, you can see through which check you have paid that invoice. Select the invoice and select this option paid by checks. We have paid through check only, right? So you can see that option. ICICI one paid check number 110 you have used for payment of this $1500 invoice, out of which 45 is discount and total amount paid or check generated for $1455. Clear? All of you? Any confusion in this? Anyone? No, right?
Yeah, I have one doubt actually.
Yes, please.
So here in the cash discount, we have given the accounts, right?
Correct.
So if we won't give the accounts, it directly pick the accounts from automatic transactions, is
Correct.
it?
It will pick. It will pick. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, actually I want to know that.
I'll show you in the next payment. Okay.
Okay.
For the invoice which we do not have any discount,
So
I'll
it's
give you a
not a
manual discount.
mandatory thing to give the accounts and cash discount while creating the
No,
cash
no, no.
discount codes.
If we are giving cash discount code, accounts are mandatory. If you are applying cash discount code, then it will take the code from main account from the code. If you,
Okay.
when you do not have applied the discount code previously to the invoice and while making the
Okay.
payment you are doing any cash discount adjustment manually,
Okay, manually. Okay.
then it will take the account from accounts from automatic transactions. So I'll show you again.
Okay.
Going for the another invoice settlement, I'll show you. Okay. Other than that, until here it is everything clear, right? I mean, how to settle this and all. If I go for open transactions now, I don't see anything. All are settled and closed. Now my question for all of you, what is the vendor balance now? What is the balance of this
Vendor
vendor
balance
account?
is 0.
Why 0?
We have
Is
paid
it
two invoices we raised.
Correct. We have raised 2 invoices for the vendor and we have paid everything. So the vendor balance should be 0. Let's go and check if it is 0 or not. To check the vendor balance, you have to click on vendor and click on balance here. So vendor balance is 0. You have completely settled everything. Right? Clear, everyone? Santosh?
Yeah.
Saideep? Other than that, who else?
Yes,
Seshu?
JP.
Mega? Okay, wonderful. If it is clear, then I'll explain you the second method, how we can settle the existing payment transaction to the existing invoice. So I'm going for this vendor, Maruti Suzuki, you know this vendor. I'm going for transactions. Okay, out of this, there are a lot of transactions that are created and reversed. So I'm going only for open transactions, which means the transactions which I can settle now. Here I can see there are some advance payments here. All these are payment transactions. What you see with vendor payment are all are advance payments we have done to this vendor. What you see here are the invoices that we have done for the vendor. One invoice for $2,000, another invoice for $1,500. Okay. Now I want to settle this $2,000 invoice with this $1,000 payment. I can say partial payment. Partially I am settling this invoice. So 2000 I want to settle to this invoice if it has to become 0 here. But I will first settle this invoice with this 1000 payment transaction which was already posted on 7th of September. So this invoice is done on 4th of October. So there is a lot of difference. So this is an advance payment. Now we can settle this invoice to this payment transaction. How we can settle, I'll show you. If you want to settle payment transaction to the invoice, click on the invoice and go for settlement here. Here you have the option of settlement. Once you click on settlement, you see this option of settle transactions. Select settle transactions. It will show you the list of transactions here. You want to settle this $2,000 invoice, right? So select that $2,000 invoice. You want to settle it with this $1,000 payment, right? So select with this payment 1,000. I selected both of them. So $2,000 invoice I have selected, and I have selected $1,000 payment transaction. So you can identify because invoice amount on the right hand side, payment amounts are on the left hand side. Okay. So now it is saying that settlement balance is 1,000. There is no cash discount here because for this invoice we don't have any cash discount applied when we have done the invoice. I remember for this vendor we did not apply any cash discount for this invoice. So no cash discount. So it will directly settle that 1,000 for this 2,000 invoice, and there will be a 1,000 pending amount on the invoice. So now I will click on post here once after selecting the two transactions. Now see the same $2,000 invoice pending balance is showing as 1,000. Why it is showing as only 1,000? Anyone?
One advance
We have
payment, 1,000
settled.
have been settled.
We have settled it with a one advance payment. Where is that advance payment? That became zero, right? For that advance payment, so it goes into closed transactions. I'll show you. So this is the invoice, and this is the advance payment transaction we have knocked off with the invoice. So for this, the balance is became zero because total 1,000 what we have is being settled to this vendor invoice. But this vendor invoice still have 1,000 pending balance. Only 1,000 is settled, right? So it will have only 1,000 pending balance. So it shows that there is a pending amount of 1,000 here. And this for this payment transaction, since it is already settled completely with this invoice, it shows pending balance as only zero. Clear for everyone how this balance column changes according to the settlement? It's important that you have to understand. If you don't understand, let me know. We will discuss again. Bala, Seshu, do you understand?
Yeah, maybe I need to go through yesterday's class and today's class again.
Okay. Then Sushila, do you understand?
Yeah, I understood.
Sairam.
Yes, yes.
Okay, wonderful.
So we will have an entry for this also, right?
No, we don't have any entry.
Okay, is
If a,
this direct settlement?
it's a direct knockoff. Suppose if you use
Okay.
different financial dimension here for payment, and if you use different financial dimension here for the invoice, for the vendor, for you have vendor account here and here, both for in the both the situations, right? If you are using any different uh, what we say different financial dimensions in the combination of the vendor account, then we will have settlement transactions additionally. Or if you are using any different posting profile here as
Okay.
general posting profile, here if you are using any prepayment
Prepayment.
posting
Yeah.
profile, then we have settlement entries for transfer of
Okay.
balance between the accounts. Okay, that I'll show you as another example later. So until here it is clear, right? So now I'll go for only show open transactions. Then it will show the transactions which are having pending balance, may it be a payment transaction or may it be an invoice. When there is a balance in this column, then it will show automatically. So if somebody want you to export all the open transactions, you can click here show open transactions or select the open transactions only. Then you can select all of this here and go for export it here. If you click on this, you can export it through an Excel file. So all these 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 transactions will be exported. If I click on this to the Excel file, come on, it's taking a lot of time. Here, yeah, vendor transactions, yes. Download, yes. It's downloaded. You can see this Excel file that is downloaded here. It's pretty much easy to download transactions or list here like this into the Excel file. So here I can see balance in transaction currency column again. So I'll just select all the fields. So I can see the total is 3,700. So what is this 3,700? Suppose if I go back from this menu and if I click on
We
vendor
need to pay
balance,
that amount.
if I click on vendor balance, it shows 3,700. The same it is showing in the Excel. Why?
We
So
need
I'll
to pay
tell
that amount.
correct. I'll tell you the reason why. So this column balance in transaction currency or this one balance in accounting currency is the criteria that decides the balance on the vendor balance page. Okay, we have made some payments. We have yet to pay some invoices. So sum up all these and you will see the balance of the vendor. So if I sum up all this, I see a positive balance of 3,700, which means like we have paid some 3,700 advance to the vendor out of settling all these invoices. Or if you don't settle also, it will automatically sum up all this amount. So we have made this advance payment. So we have also payments for the invoices. So it will sum up all these and it will show the remaining amount. 3,700 is the positive amount we have with the vendor, which means we have the advance amount with the vendor already. If it shows negative amounts, then what?
We are liable to pay.
We are liable to pay. We have to pay. Invoice amount is more than the advance payment amounts. That's all. So clear, right, everyone? So that is why it is showing 3,700 here. Sum of all those fields, all those columns. I mean all the amounts in that column here. So for whatever settled is zero only. If you sum up all of them also, there is no point. Zeros will not come into point, but only the open transactions will mostly come into point when we are going to settle them. When this column is the criteria for system to account the balance. If in the transaction currency this column, if the system have to account the balance in the accounting currency, this is the column. It will sum up all the amounts in this column and it will show up as the balance in the vendor balance menu. Clear this logic, everyone? One guy speak out.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Then I would like to settle this $2,000 invoice. So only 1,000 is pending on this, right? So I'll settle with this 1,200 payment. So what happens if I settle with this 1,200 payment to this invoice, which is having pending balance of 1,000? Anyone? Assumptions? 200 will be remaining where?
Transaction.
200 will be remaining where?
In the prepayment which I have done 100.
Correct. So
That 200
what
balance
happens
will
to
be
this invoice?
that invoice will be closed.
Correct. This invoice will get completely settled with the remaining pending amount of 1,000. On this payment transaction, 1,000 will be deducted and the balance should show up as 200 here once after settling with the invoice. So let us see how we can settle it. So now if I want to settle it, what is the process? If I want to settle these two transactions, what is the process?
Go to settlement.
Go to settlement and select.
Select the invoice first. Go to settlement. Next,
Options.
Settle
Settle
transactions.
transaction.
click on settle transactions. Okay. Now what?
Select 1,200 transaction.
So select the 1,200 transaction. Okay, I selected the 1,200 transaction. Then
And 2,000
so
1,000 transaction.
we don't have 2,000 transaction. We only need to pay 1,000, right? So you have to remember the invoice number 1. So select the 1,000 transaction. Okay,
Click on post.
click on post. So there is some message. There is some error message. Account number for transaction type exchange rate loss does not exist. Account number for transaction type. Okay. What is it?
We have to create exchange rate for this date, today's on that day.
No, it's not saying about exchange rate, but it is saying something else. What is it? Account number for the transaction type exchange rate loss does not exist. We have given some time back account numbers for transaction types. Remember where we have given them?
Yeah, bank transaction types we have given.
No, not bank transaction types. Account number for transaction type exchange rate loss. I think we have discussed it here in general ledger. Then
Automatic accounts.
it accounts for automatic transactions. Didn't we give this account here? Penny difference in reporting currency, accounting currency we have given. But the system is saying that account number for transaction type exchange rate loss is not given. Do we have anything else here? Let me check for exchange rate loss if we have any. Here exchange rate gain we have, so we should also have exchange rate loss here. So here for this account I'll give this same account number. Okay, just for reference sake I'm giving the same account number for this posting type. Okay, I don't want to create a new account. If I want to create an account, I can create one account, no problem. Let me create one account quickly. I want to complete this topic now. So account number exchange rate loss, right? So it is, I'll give 5,21,000 exchange rate loss. So it is always a expense account. I'll save it. So we'll copy this, go back, give the same account number here, exchange rate loss. I'll save it. I don't know why system is asking it. Let us see why system is asking it. Okay. I remember why system is asking it. I'm not sure if you remember why system is asking it. See, we have invoice in US dollar only, payment also in US dollar only. But why system is asking about exchange rates? Why the exchange rate concept is coming at all here?
We have given some INR for one vendor, right?
No,
Is that
that's for different vendor. That's not here.
At the time of
Anyone?
prepayment, there is one exchange rate.
That's okay. But for which currency to which currency? We have same US dollar only in the vendor invoice, and you have only US dollar only in the payment also. So it should be the same, right? Where is the exchange rate concept here? Think logically. Do we have anything else, any other currency here in the invoice or payment? Anyone?
currency?
Yes, there is reporting currency other than accounting currency. You know, right? So let us try to add the reporting currency balances here. I am personalizing this grid. I'm adding another field. Okay. I'll add amount in reporting currency and balance in reporting currency, two fields here. So they will be there, but system is hiding them. We can add reporting, contains reporting. Okay. It's only showing reporting date. Where is balance? Come on. No, it's wrong. Oh, 1 second, guys. So let me click on this. Don't see anything regarding reporting, but we have to see the reporting currency balance here. If it doesn't show up, then there is another way to check this. What is the other way to check the reporting currency balance on this invoice? Anyone? Where usually we have seen reporting currency balances previously?
We will say in the payment journals.
Normally, in any transaction, we'll see it in the voucher. Once the voucher is
Okay.
posted, we'll see both the currency balances.
Yeah.
So this is 2000. You see 2000 transaction. I am going for voucher. Now, if I see voucher, what is the reporting currency amount? 1698.51 euros. Okay. So out of which half of the amount is paid, which means 1000 US dollar is already paid, right? So the remaining amount on this invoice to be paid is 0.51 divided by 2. 849.255 is the remaining euro amount pending on this invoice. So okay, let's keep it aside. Now I'm going for this payment transaction, which is for 1200. Now if I see the voucher for this, I can see it is for 1200 is there actually. So this 1200 bank transaction we have, payment transaction. So this is for 1019.11. So there can be some minor cents differences in this exchange rate of reporting currency. So accounting currency balances are same, but while settling this invoice with the payment, there can be chances of any penny differences which are arising out of the settlement. So that exchange rate difference or is accounted as the exchange rate loss or exchange rate gain if at all we have gain. So that is calculated by system. So let us see how system is calculating the transaction. Now we will try to settle this, sorry, this invoice with the payment manner. 1200. Now I will click on post. This time what is the error message? Account type for the transaction exchange rate loss does not exist. Come on here, we gave this account already here. Other than this, there is another place where we can give this account. Here, ledger setup. So let me give this account here under realized loss. Let us see if that works. Exchange rate loss here. Okay. This time it's settled. You know, other than giving there, you can also give it here actually. I mean, I think you should give it here too under realized loss. So this topic actually we will discuss during foreign currency valuation, where we have associated all the chart of accounts, calendars and currency. We can give that exchange rate loss account here under realized loss. Okay, remember. So then we can see, now you can see the payment transaction 200 pending on the payment and invoice is settled. Total invoice disappeared here because in that is why it shows as that amount. So now you can also see all the open transactions. This is the transaction we got. See, balance in accounting currency 00 only. But if I click on voucher, this is the additional transaction we got. If I click on voucher, you see exchange rate loss account is taken and there is a 1 cent difference in the reporting currency. That 1 cent is adjusted to that account. Accounts payable is credited with that 1 cent in the where in the reporting currency column. In the accounting currency and transaction currency, it is 00 only. Because of that exchange rate difference, we have 1 cent difference here. Because the fractions difference is settled to this account, exchange rate loss account. So system consider this account automatically from there. Clear? This difference in reporting currency is accounted to exchange rate loss account. That's all. This is the additional transaction that is being posted here. See, Zero only in accounting currency, but in reporting currency you have. Normally in the latest version of system, you also see the columns of balance in reporting currency, I mean amount in reporting currency and balance in reporting currency here. Here I could not find them in this version, but usually we'll have them as well now in the latest version. Remember that point as well. Okay, clear until here, settlements within the page. Now if I want to settle this 1500 to this 1500, how can I settle? Can someone guide me? Sushila. Yeah, Bala, please.
Go to settlement,
Settlement.
settle transactions.
Okay, settle transactions. Select this 1500 and also select this 1500, right? And I can click on post. Click on post and both of them are settled. As you can see, both of them disappeared from the open transactions. Now if I bring the criteria back, then I can see the 1500 here and 1500 here. Payment became 0, balance became 0. Here also balance became 0. Now I realized that I have wrongly settled this 1500 to this 1500. It should not be settled. This both transactions should not be settled. I should settle this 1500 with some other transaction. Then what I can do? There is another option called as undo settlement, where you can undo the settlement of already settled transactions. This option is provided by system here as undo settlement. To if you want to revert the transaction that you have settled. So you click on this undo settlement. So you can see what transaction you have settled. Once you click on that invoice and click on undo settlement, you can see that that invoice is settled with this payment transaction, vendor payment 003. You can see 1500 invoice transaction and 1500 vendor transaction in the positive amount, payment transaction in the positive amount are settled. If you want to undo the settlement, select both of them once again and click on reverse. If you click on reverse, so both those transactions will again appear as open transactions. See here, invoice is appearing as open and payment is appearing as open, and you can see 1500 and 1500. Again, balance is pending on those transactions. Clear? How we can undo the settlement once we have done the settlement? All of you clear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If
at any time, can we do this thing?
yes, at any time you can do, but usually they'll do it within the same period actually. If the period is closed, they don't they don't go for the last period transaction. If it is kept on hold, then you have to open it and do maybe. Anytime you can do it, undo the settlement. For this 2000 invoice, we have settled two transactions, right? 1000 payment and this 1200 payment, out of which 1000 is settled to this invoice, 200 is pending yet on the payment. So you can see this 2000 invoice, go to settlement and go to undo settlement. You can see there are transactions settled for this invoice. So this actually is a zero amount. I think this is regarding the, I mean the same invoice actually. 2000 invoice, right? 1000 is settled with this, 1000 is settled with this. So it is showing two partitions, 1000. You can undo the settlement, but which half is settled with which half you don't know, right? So first you can select this vendor payment 002. Once you select it, automatically the other part will also get selected. The 1000 part of the invoice which you have settled with this payment, that will automatically get selected here. Suppose if I deselect this, it will also get unmarked. If I mark this one, this payment transaction, this half of the invoice 1000 will get marked automatically. If I unmark, it will get unmarked. So that you can undo the settlement of one payment to the invoice, or if you want to undo both the payments, you can select both of them and click on reverse, and it will undo the total $2000 to the invoice. So invoice will show up as again open invoice. Payments also show up as open payments automatically, just like in the very first screen. But I'm not doing that. I'm canceling this. We have done it for this invoice rate already. 1500 invoice. 1500 invoice is showing as open again, and 1500 payment is showing as open again. Clear, guys? This settlement and undo settlement, all of you. Say yes or no. Sairam.
Yes, JP.
Yes.
Okay. So once you have done undo settlement, if I click on this invoice and click on settlement history, I can still see the settlement history of the invoice. So that invoice is settled with vendor payment transaction on a particular date. So this date it is settled, and this date it is reverted. You can see reverted means positive amount, settled means negative amount it will show. Yeah, I think so. So in the same way, even though you have undo settled it, it will just show in the history list. It will show the history of transactions which are settled to this invoice or which are undo settled from this invoice. You can see all the details here. Not only for the invoice, you can also go for the payment transaction here, and you can go for settlement and you can see the settlement history for the payment transaction as well. So for the payment transaction, you have settled the invoice and undo settled, right? So it shows both of them, settlement as well as undo settlement. Both the history list it will show. So that is the thing. There are few more things we will discuss tomorrow about this reverse of transaction as well as some more details in this menu tomorrow. So until then, practice it here. So we have gone so far today, 1 hour 16 minutes. I'm so sorry for that, but still I want to complete this topic and I have extended it. So clear until here, right? For all of you, that would be all for today. Tomorrow we'll see some additional topics associated to this and we'll go for a different topic again. So if you have any doubts, you can stay back and ask. If you don't have,